Hey y'all, it's me, Dree. So my message today is going to start with these 3 emotion oracle cards. I've got balance, curiosity, and I have release. So I don't think these 3 oracle cards are just giving us 3 different themes. No. I think they're actually showing us the emotional progression of this entire reading. Everything, it begins with this balance. Because I'm getting that one where emotionally dysregulated, well, our focus narrows. Because we're trying to survive. We're trying to make sense of what exactly happened. And we're trying to carry the weight of the whole experience. But the moment that we are able to become balanced again, well, then our perspective can begin to shift. It begins to widen. We stop reacting and we begin to observe. And as we begin observing, curiosity naturally follows. We begin asking different questions. We become open to seeing something from an entirely different angle or point of view. And when that new perspective reveals the truth, well, release, that becomes the natural outcome, don't you think? That's not because we're forcing ourselves to let go, but because we've finally understood what it is we were carrying all along. Now let's get into the message. It starts in this energy of balance. And we have the Star, the 10 of Wands, and the Page of Swords reversed. So, with this tarot, I think we're going to see exactly how this balance is unfolding for the collective. Because we start with the Star. And this immediately tells me that the collective, y'all have been healing. I don't think that y'all have just been healing for the sake of feeling better either. No. I think y'all have been healing for a purpose. The Star card, this is a card of resolve. This is a card of restitution. It's a card about coming back into alignment with yourself. It's about finding your center again. Maybe after carrying something for a very long time. Because the next card is this 10 of Wands. And this card tells me that the collective, y'all are still carrying a burden. And it's been heavy. It's been, I'm getting difficult to hold. And I'm getting, it's taken a tremendous amount of emotional energy for y'all to continue moving forward while carrying the weight of whatever this situation might be. So even though the healing is happening, the burden is still present. And naturally, the question has to become why, doesn't it? Then we arrive at this Page of Swords reversed. And I think this card answers that very question because I'm getting that a large part of this burden has been surrounding a false narrative. This is a card of communication. This is a card of gossip. This is distorted communication. This is stories that never reflected the actual truth. And I think for a long time, the collective carried both this burden and the false narrative that was attached to it. But I'm getting now that this star, because this star is here, this star changes everything. Because the healing, it hasn't been random. We said that it had a purpose. So this healing has been preparing the collective to finally alchemize this heavy load that they've been carrying. It's been preparing them to separate themselves from the burden, to separate themselves from the false narrative, and to recognize that neither one of those things belongs to y'all. And I'm getting that shift in perspective is what naturally moves this reading into curiosity, because once the collective realizes y'all have been healing for a purpose, y'all become curious about what all of this has actually been creating. This is not about what happened to y'all. This is about what happened within them, within y'all. Now let's see how this tarot unfolds. I've got the Eight of Swords reverse, the Ace of Swords, and the Three of Wands. So, the Eight of Swords, the highlighted words on this card, it says release limiting beliefs. And I love that because I think that's exactly what's happening here. The collective has healed enough that now they're finally able to challenge the beliefs they built while they were carrying this burden all this time. Then we see the words on this card that say mental strength. It's up to you. Take back your power. And that just makes this energy all that much stronger, because this isn't somebody waiting for life to change. This is somebody recognizing that they have the power to change the way they relate to this situation altogether. And that changes everything. And this card keeps giving, because then we've got set free and escape. And also conquer self-doubt. And now we're really talking, because curiosity is doing exactly what it was meant to do here. It's dismantling the beliefs that were created from this false narrative. I'm getting the collective is no longer trapped by what happened anymore. They're becoming free in their minds about what they believed because of what happened. This is like unraveling the yarn. Then we arrive at the Ace of Swords. And this is where the curiosity, it really pays off, because curiosity, that always leads somewhere, doesn't it? And today, it's leading to awareness, insight, epiphany, I'm getting the collective finally understands something they couldn't understand before. And because of that, they receive clarity. And the truth of the situation finally lands. The vision about what was happening finally becomes clear. And all of a sudden, everything begins making perfect sense. The collective can see the burden. They can see the false narrative. And they can see those things for what they actually were now. Not for who y'all are. Then we end this column with the Three of Wands. I love this progression because once the truth lands, reality begins responding. This card is about manifesting. It says manifest your dreams, big developments. It says level up and progress. So I don't believe in coincidences. I'm getting the collective. Y'all have leveled up internally. Y'all's perspective has changed. Y'all's relationship with yourselves, that has changed. And because of all that, y'all's ability to manifest changes too. Reality begins catching up to the work that's already happening within y'all. I'm not getting that the collective is forcing this. I'm getting that the collective, y'all are watching it unfold. And I think that's really beautiful because once truth has been fully integrated, well, there's really only one place left for this energy to go, right? Release. Which is exactly where we land. I'm not sure that release was never the goal. I'm thinking more that release, this was the result. The result of finding balance. The result of becoming curious enough to question what y'all have been carrying. The result of seeing the truth clearly enough that there is simply nothing left to hold on to, that you have to let it go. Now let's see how the tarot wants to bring this message home. We've got the Ten of Swords reverse, the King of Swords reverse, and the solar eclipse. So I think it's pretty evident by now that the collective is making a comeback. Y'all have taken back y'all's power. Y'all have made the correction in y'all's 3D reality. And now, y'all are over it. Y'all are ready to reconcile the past, repair the damages that were caused, if that's even possible. And most of all, y'all are ready to move on, because now that this false narrative has been fully alchemized, I'm getting the collective really does make a full comeback. Not because someone finally apologized, no. And not because everyone suddenly understands the collective, no. But because y'all have reclaimed yourselves. Y'all are over carrying what never belonged to y'all to start. Y'all are moving on. And then we get to this King of Swords reverse, and I think this card finally reveals the source of everything we've been looking at throughout this entire reading. the source of this heavy load, this source of this false narrative, that's this guy. This is sarcastic, cold, controlling, unbending. It literally says lack of integrity. This is somebody who is drunk on power and seen as a loose cannon. And I think this is all very important because now y'all can finally see where this false narrative came from in the first place. It didn't originate from the collective. It originated with someone who lacked integrity from the very beginning. And once that becomes clear, there is nothing left to defend. There is nothing left to prove. And there is nothing left to carry. Because this message ends so perfectly with this solar eclipse. I honestly couldn't think of a better way for this reading to end because the words on this card say it all. Big changes are coming. Find your inner truth. Catalyst for change. This card serves as a cosmic trigger, and it does usually leave a new beginning. So I think the collective has already done everything they need to do here. Y'all found your balance. Y'all became curious enough to question the story. And that allowed y'all to release the burden. Y'all corrected the false narrative within yourselves. And because of that, this eclipse card becomes the catalyst. Not because it's creating the change. No, this is because it's revealing the change that is already taking place. You see, the internal transformation has already happened. And now, 3D reality simply needs to get ready to catch up. I think the message for today is a beautiful one because it reminds us that healing isn't just about feeling better. It's about becoming balanced enough to become curious and curious enough to see, maybe find the truth. And once that truth is fully integrated within you, release that happens naturally. I'm getting that y'all didn't heal because somebody finally validated you. No, y'all healed because y'all finally validated yourselves. And once that happened, the burden lost all its weight, all on its own. And when that happened, the false narrative, that lost its power all together. And because of all of this, a brand new beginning is available for the collective. And that's the message that I have for y'all today. So if this one landed like my message, leave me a comment and follow along. Send your energy into the channel so I can see what it is that y'all want to see next. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Remember, where there is love, there's light. I'm feeling out of balance today, guys. I don't know if it's a retrograde or what, but I tried to record this message like maybe 9 times. I almost threw it in the trash and said goodbye, but I decided to give it one final go over. So if you made it to the end, let me know. See you guys next time.